hours. Not everybody wants to, and not everybody likes to psychologically be up, you know, 2 good winning trades, be up almost 90 points or 100 points, and then give 40 or 50 of those points back or more. And it did happen. It happened the first or second day we had the live room running. We were up almost, I think we were up close to 90 plus points. Some people were more. And we gave, a lot of those points were given back. Now, if you trade the system 3 sessions, well, you get what you get. Like, you take every trade, that's it. But if you start complaining about giving some points back, well, you've got to take accountability and responsibility for that. That's your job. You know, you've got to apply your part of that, you know, that style and what you're comfortable with to your trade plan. So what are we here? Okay, so we've gone through that one. Okay, so we've covered that. We've got a natural tendency to look at the points and dollars made on the system and run a best case scenario from the outset. I don't know about anyone in the room, but I've done this, I don't know how many times. Like, I obviously don't do it now, but when I was first trading, when I first started trading, I would always look straight away at the points or dollars made on the system and run best case scenarios from the outset. I would start looking at that, and that's what we typically, that's our human nature, that's what we typically tend to do. So we need to, and we focus on equity curves, we need to really get down and dirty in the data. We need to look at, you know, good risk management and good trade preparation concentrates on the worst case scenario, concentrates on contingencies, concentrates on maximum drawdown period. You know, that's what you need to prepare yourself when you're trading. Sure, look, this system has a great edge. It's got a great reward to risk. It's had a fantastic run, and that's what we love. That's what I like about the system. I like the fact that it's a breakout strategy. I know that crude will break out. I know that it also has, it will have its, you know, day or two where it consolidates, or it might have a week where it does that. That's been reflected in the data. I've gone through that again today. It's had a couple of, you know, in June, I think it was the last week of June, second last week of September, you know, it was crap. It didn't do anything. It had, you know, 2 negative weeks, and the range was pretty ordinary, but then just explodes out. So it's a market and strategy that will give you a lot of points, but you have to manage your expectation. Don't think that it's going to be, you know, roses every day, and be disappointed if you don't get a winning day every single day. You've definitely got to look at what the, you know, what it can do, what its consecutive losing trades is, and if you don't like giving points back, as we said before, just take them and be happy with the day. You know, take your winners, lock your points in, use your power of quitting, and finish for the session. So one of the things I tend to do with my strategy is I always double my maximum drawdown in preparation for when I commence trading. So if I start a new strategy or a system that I'm testing, I always steel myself to have a potential double drawdown of what I've experienced, because that way I know that I've looked at all the data. I've looked at the really crappy run, and I've said, right, well, I will allow at least twice that performance to basically I'll allow twice that performance to allow me to basically trade this system. So that way I'm mentally ready for a losing run. And if I come out of the gate with a good run of winners, great. If I don't, well, it doesn't matter. I've done the work, I've taken accountability of the system, and I know exactly what it can and can't do. So that's really what where we want to be as traders. We want to always be thinking about being mentally prepared for an immediate drawdown, having a strategy in place to capitalize on our winning runs. So the mental preparation is the biggest thing. One of the things that we have to have with a good system is that positive expectancy. So we need to have that excellent reward to risk. They're critical for us trading the strategy or the system. We need to know it backwards. We need to know it like it's it's part of our family. We need to know the market that we're trading like it's part of our family as well. So those two things will set you up for a great start. Having a strategy in place to capitalize on your winning runs, that's what we talked about with a money management strategy, and that's really how we take advantage of those streaks. And the other thing we need to do as well is, if we do get on a good streak where we take points out of the market and we're starting to increase our contract size based on our position sizing and money management, we also need to not forget about having a break in place. So some type of ability to reduce our risk on our increased contracts if we go through a drawdown period. So it's all well and good to start building and accumulating profit and getting a good buffer in the account and start building some profits, but we also want to protect that as we go along as well. So if you want to know some more information about that, just happy to chat to you about that as well. So traders, that was my kind of presentation today. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a run through on kind of some of the things we potentially need to look at when we first start a new system and start looking at a new strategy and trading that. Some of you may have found that fairly basic. It's stuff that you've probably heard before, but look, it's always good to have a bit of a refresher as well. For others, I hope you got a bit out of that. So thank you for your time tonight. It's getting pretty close to the start of the market. I'll go through the news for today. As I said, yesterday and today were all about kind of training, just doing a little bit of prep for Wednesday when we start back live with Bob. So we'll be back in the room live with Bob tomorrow. So looking forward to that. So any questions before we wrap it up? Any questions, comments? Would you like me to go over anything? Okay, so